Zilovo village, Transcarpathian region. The following words are etched on a stone pillar. A permanent, precise, eternal place. According to the meridians and parallel scale, this center of Europe was established by a special piece of equipment made in Austria-Hungary, 1887. Europe. What's it like? Maybe like in the ancient Greek myth, she was stolen by the mighty bull-like god Zeus, and the beautiful daughter of the Phoenician king, whose name was Europa. Does she still live on a distant island? Or is she back home now? About hopes for global change, about the dreams and the aspirations of Ukrainians connected with Europe, in the documentary play The Abduction of Europe, only in ProArt and thanks to the Goethe Institut in Ukraine. You can watch it right now. Do you understand that they want to ride this Soviet bus? Continue to ride it. And the most important thing is security. Security. We need a contract. Give me a star, and the hearts of women will pound like this. Thud, thud, thud. Love is the main thing. Pure love. This is a presentation. We are at work, so let's play something at last. Not to just stand around and chit-chat. And why should I behave differently? This is the territory of my country. Ukrainian audiences have traditionally had the opportunity to enjoy a variety of international cultural events. These include the Goethe Institut's theater project in Ukraine, Choice Documentary Theater. With the support of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Germany, the festival was the result of the work of three countries, three independent documentary theaters, Ukraine, Germany and Russia. The performances are different in form, but were all united by the festival's common motto, Europe, a new social contract.
Yes, the
Goethe Institut brought together three groups of performances, the Interbank Theater, the Tech Center and the Theater Doc, to discuss how society wants to live together and what kind of joint social contract we can have. All three groups are documentary ones and are actually united in this project for the first time. The theater, particularly documentary theater in Ukraine, has become very relevant, especially after the protests on the Maidan in Kiev. And so we have been intensively involved in documentary theater since 2014. The connecting topic was, how does society want to live together? From Ukraine, the documentary work The Abduction of Europe was presented at the festival by director Andry May-Malakhov and playwright Oleksiy Dorichevsky, together with actors from the Ivan Franko Theater.
We
worked with the actors. This is a full-fledged partnership with the Franco National Theater. They gave an excellent opportunity to work with artists and with workshops. It was a great work. Accordingly, I had the desire here to make us feel the mosaic and richness of our life. So there was no desire to make expressive means stingy. Productions in the genre of documentary theater are not new for the director Andry May-Malakhov. He's one of the founders of the Ukrainian new drama movement. It's no accident that the play The Abduction of Europe was included in the program of the international theatrical project of the Goethe Institut, Choice. We initially collected material, created drama, and then thought about the name and structure. We referred to the painting by Felix Volaton, The Rape of Europa, in the Abduction of Europe play. In this painting, Europa is back to the audience, and it seems that her big, beautiful figure turns a little bit to the side of Ukraine. The play's title has allegorical meaning and a subtext, as well as a direct analogy. The authors appealed to the well-known ancient Greek myth about the abduction of Europa. The heroes of this play found their real prototypes among Ukrainian officials. And the choice, what kind of discourse is formed after this, means what was stolen and from whom. It's worth stating here whether Europe has stolen Europe from us, or whether we're kidnapping Europe from Europe. But in general terms, how are we stealing this Europe from each other? For this reason, our communication with local leaders of regions and cities in the extreme regions of Ukraine and non-leaders in occupied Crimea now became a reason for us too, in the center of Ukraine, in Vinnytsia.
Хто в селі народився? Чого ви там не залишились?
In the play, there is no meeting with the Phoenician beauty Europe, but the director and playwright, with the support of the Goethe Institut, traveled to cities and villages of Ukraine, talked with various people, from tractor drivers to governors of regions. They turned their impressions of the meetings into a theatrical performance, recreating the hopes and aspirations of Ukrainians associated with the European Union.
Мене звати Ганна. Я представник європейської спільноти. І не можу бути осторонь, коли йдеться про нас.
For me, this is not the first or 10th documentary project. Our view with Alexei was important, our rethinking of what we came across, and the way out to some sort of dialogue today with the audience about those problems and about that endless irony which removes these problems, not allowing them to be called by their names and be solved.
Зараз час нової свідомості, нової людини! Нової свідомості!
Working in the documentary genre is not new for actors of the National Academic Theatre, but neither is it so simple. This is a very specific way of acting on stage, immersing oneself into the role of a particular modern hero.
Єврозірка! Емблема! Обов'язково має бути емблема!
Yes, you know it's not easy, but I think we did it. By the way, this really was my first time. The guys traveled around the regions of Ukraine. They collected different images like that.
Мені подобається ваш підхід. Я на вікнах його малюю.
And here is the character who, according to the dramaturgy, sought to benefit from everything, to come to an agreement with everybody. And who is he, this dishonest man?
Скочу. Ну, не кажи мені, кажи, тільки слово. Ні.
Це мер міста.
The city's mayor, the personification of local government, the representative of the authorities, let's say.
А як же?
Що ви таке кажете?
The authors visited the offices of the first persons in the regions of the country, and it was reasonable from the stage to ask the question, what is civil society now? The creators asked people a variety of questions about the European choice.
Яке буде наше спільне тло?
От того,
From where was it best for you in Europe? And almost everyone answered, in Austria, because of the cleanliness there. When you meet a local leader and he babbles on about nothing, you ask him specific questions, and he continues to waffle, so as not to talk about the main issue. This is precisely what empty banality is, and not the desire to answer directly or be responsible regionally in his place for what he does. And this became such a key problem for us.
Ну, можна кожний четвер я буду з'їдати людей.
Actor Dmytro Zavadskyi from Ivano-Frankivsk got a role that was not a pleasant one. In an uncompromising way, the actor presented the audience with a never-greedy official.
Родина, головне, це нормально, трошки так собі красти.
He's even called like this, a representative of state power bodies. This is what I say. It is practically a text that was pronounced in life for some years. And these are living people who are currently officials. This is the poster line of this character. The way he moves history. Roughly speaking, he's always looking for personal gain. How do people in different regions position themselves towards Europe? What are they waiting for, and what can they offer to Europe? Where should we go? What is Europe, and where is it right now? The director and playwright traveled all over Ukraine, communicated with different people in order, together with the audience, to find answers to questions that are important for everyone. And in general, this is where the representative of government bodies comes from, who is impersonal, wearing a boyer-type fur coat and Nike sneakers. This is a person who needs to grab everything now, because it won't be there later. The question, who has stolen Europe from whom, became rhetorical for the composition, in which the role of representative of the European Union was merely symbolic.
Я видела действительно вот звезды, которые как бы нам предлагают.
Here are the stars that we're being offered. We'd probably like to be real stars in the full sense of the word. Something like that. To sparkle, so that everything would be just fine with us. This is how everything is fabulous, beautiful, simple. Just as I said when playing my role.
Точно как я там, в общем-то, говорила в роли.
Ви матимете однаковий культурний, науковий, фінансовий.
Фінансування, я згоден, Боже, як ви все правильно говорите.
It's one thing to play a boss or an important lady, but how do you embody a region or territory on stage? Well, the creatives found an original solution. In Word and in plastic, 4 directions appeared, 4 regions: North, South, East and West.
Схід, остановись.
Кожна з нас уособлювала.
Each of us personified a separate region. Natasha is West, I'm South, Tanya is East, and Nastya is North. This is not a particular person. These are problems, some pains and regions as a whole.
Це театр, ми актори і ми працюємо.
The key actor was a male conscript who'd returned from working away from home, where he'd worked on an excavator. He was taken to the army because there is a war going on in Ukraine.
Я в Європі машину продав, щоб мене тут в армію не взяли. Взяли. І машину, і в армію.
Молодой парень, которого мы
A
встретили.
young guy we met on the border with Hungary told us his story, that he had a prosperous life in Slovakia, and he will go there anyway once he finishes his service. And this desire to leave and throw away responsibility for the future, no matter how pathetic that might sound, covers completely. Thanks to the director's fantasies, realities turned into images and phantasmagorias. Associations were born that provoked the audience to think and recognize that for many decades our existence was subordinated to values that destroyed souls, destroyed culture, the high spirituality of our country and every one of us.
І все.
Мы жили в доме возле
We
музея.
lived in a house near the Lesya Ukrainka Museum, and as you go out, you see the monument to Lesya Ukrainka. It seems that she's looking at the sea. Her look poses the questions, when will it end? And it all rises up inside of you.
Поднимается так внутри все.
A visit to Crimea was extremely necessary for the authors to create the fullness of the cutting off of Ukrainian society. But the creative trip to Simferopol, Yalta, Lushta was a risky venture.
Тяжело принимать реальность.
Well, it was tough to accept reality when you see someone with the flag of Novorossiya. It's hard to see the St. George ribbons. It's hard to see the monument to liberators. It's easy to sing the national anthem of Ukraine. Alexei and I sang it under the Supreme Council building of Crimea. Our behavior was wrong because we provoked it all, but we wanted it so much. We insolently sang the anthem at Cape Sarich with Alexei, drank a bottle of Artemivsky champagne from present-day Bakhmut, and we just shouted out our anthem. And at that moment, the bushes parted and a man came out in a red jacket and black pants, and we started to just laugh because right sector came to us after the anthem's finale.
Окей,
Окей?
емблема
Алан!
ваша.
А її вкрав Зевс!
In the plot of the play, everything ended happily and safely. Ukraine and Europe have finally found each other, and the kidnapper Zeus will be left empty-handed. It seems like we can get excited, can we? I believe in this, I want to believe it. And even though the character does not seem to mend his ways, but still, with some optimism, we're playing. It turned out this way. But what price are we willing to pay for it? What should we give up? So far, this is probably some sort of false finale. It's not fully understood whether this is good or bad. We just really wanted to be ourselves, and so we did a play like Abduction of Europe so that these abductions of Europe from each other and the present did not occur.
Не происходило.
Площадной театр – это не площадной театр.
It is not just a traveling show, it is real from the soul. Well, here it is, and this is what we wanted to embody. We'll let you be the judge of the result.
Вот это мы хотели воплотить. Как получилось, вам судить.
The performance strip accompanies us throughout all of life. The search for answers to eternal questions like who are we, what are we, and what should we be. The goal of the journey is to find oneself in time, one's place in this complicated world, and it only depends on us.
Поки сам не зробиш, нічого не буде. Ти самотній в цій країні. Ти самотній.
Ich bin kein EU-Beauftragter.
I perceive Ukraine as a very young and dynamic society that wants to change something. And it's very difficult to do this. Of course, it won't happen overnight. But a big process for change has begun. We're open and we hope that it works.
Ein großer Veränderungsprozess ist angestoßen.